Hello, what's happening, everyone? This is Fernando Tito Serrano speaking to you live from my room right now. I'm not gonna do a Facebook Live because sometimes it's complicated just to pause it and what's about to say on this video, because on my video I'm gonna do a documentary why did I be a cosplayer throughout my convention through the past 5 or 6 years. And for doing so, I've been collecting movies throughout the past and cosplay a mask too instead, and of course and a bunch of stuff from conventions just like these ones I'm about to show you. Yeah, some comic book Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles superheroes from Marvel and video game characters too, and also my collection of these action figures from the earlier past throughout the 2010 series. And I do have quite a collection of autographs too from voice actors and celebrities and WWE superstars. For right now today, I like to talk about why did I be a cosplayer. You know why? Because people like to do a documentary about people want to dress up what kind of characters from superheroes, villains, animators, and movies, characters, you name it, and of course, TV shows from The Walking Dead. My life started in 2011 for the first time in MisuCon. I think that was like over almost like 7 years ago or something like that. Yeah, I did start a small convention. It wasn't that big or anything like that. It was kind of like first time that MisuCon opened in 2011. MisuCon opened like a small portion of this convention that people dress up as animators. Like what kind of cosplay they were dressing up. I think they were dressed up as anime characters from Japanese that people designed it just to draw them. Of course, I know a lot of Japanese cartoons they did draw that just to watch it in America or in Japanese, of course. And I'm gonna continue to talk about that when I for the first time that I went to that convention in MisuCon, I was kind of a little bit shy just to meet up people, just to talk a little bit silly about myself, and went around shopping. I dressed normally throughout these clothes that I wear back then. I didn't have no cosplay back then because for myself, I had to see it for myself for the first time. I was kind of a little bit shy with people, but believe me, if you blend in a little bit more, that you realize that people don't care that who you want to dress up instead. You know that? People come here just to chat, just to shop, or to do videos, pictures of every kind of characters that you want to do something, silly or do something funny of yourself instead. And when I went to those panels for the first time, they were talking about questions from TV shows about the animators, that sort of thing. That I went to those panels instead, and they also had a bunch of video games to play with in the past because every video games that they come an extra like a game system, and they hook up the TV, bunch of televisions to play with that kind of settings. And simple. And my story has an end there instead. Well, I went to the convention just like for about 2 days instead. Well, I didn't realize that the conventions don't last that much days instead. I know sometimes on Fridays, the first time, so a few people only come, and a couple of them, like 50 or 100 people instead. And on Saturday, it's the biggest one ever. It can come a little bit less more than like 500 or 1,000 people. And Sundays, not that busy because there are a few leftover people there on Sundays too. That's how the conventions always work throughout every year. I know one of my friend named Chris did a whole documentary of everybody interview about being a cosplayer instead. For me, this is just my first video doing a documentary about being a cosplayer. I'm just doing this just to prove it, to see who really I am instead. I know I can be more popular that I post these pictures on Facebook, Instagram, and videos that I do for touring around on YouTube or on Twitter, whatever that I can post in those accounts. Well, I know Facebook is more popular than Twitter. People know what you're doing on Facebook, and they realize this is who you really are instead. I know you can meet up new friends on Facebook, and then they'll chat with you and say, "Hey, you look cool, and you look awesome, and you look legit." Some people who want to talk about you differently about yourself instead. Oh, and I took a break just drinking some water. When MISUCON had it ended in 2011, the next year it did start a little bit bigger on Florida's convention called Florida SuperCon. That was the biggest convention I went in 2012. When I went in 2012, I didn't realize that this convention was that big. And my God, that in that convention, it had a lot of people dress up any kind of characters from every superheroes, villains, or comic books, movies, you name it. You know why people come to the convention for? For having fun, that sort of thing. If it wasn't for this convention or meeting with you guys like this, I wouldn't expect to meet you guys like this. I won't be able to do nothing in real life. Just to spend time with my family or be a nobody on Facebook. And right now, in a couple of years, I will continue to do this instead. That people love it instead. Any child who comes, it can be an infant, it can be a little older, it can be a teenager, it can be an older person. This convention is for everybody, not just for adults. It can be for everybody, and I love it. You know that, and I know new members are going to join in. And of course that I blend in more around the environment, that I meet new friends throughout the convention, because that they like what I do in real life on Facebook or Instagram. And besides, and I'm glad that I have more friends and more followers on Instagram or on Musical.ly, whatever. And basically like this, that I did not sign up on Facebook since 2012. That's what I did. People thought that Facebook was kind of a little bit dangerous for predators just to find you, of course, for information. But believe me, we're not that stupid. That was back then. Now this is now, because this is the 21st century. Because no person's ever gonna mess with you or anything like that. Forget about the bullies, forget about the morons, and forget about the idiots who are just, predators out there just to get your sorry ass. I'm glad my life just turned around from you guys, of course, because and my life is so perfect. I've been blessed from money, home, and of course soulmates and family that they support me, and of course the friends who are closer to me, all of you guys. Okay, thank you for everybody, and including you, brother, because I'm glad that you never give up on me. Okay, because I'm glad you changed since a decade ago. Okay, because the army changed you instead. Well, I don't mention people by name on the internet because I don't want to get anybody, into trouble or anything like that. You know how I am instead. And this is how my story goes that I do in real life. Just not talking about so much crap throughout my years. Don't talk about negative about your job. Don't talk about negative about yourself. Don't talk negative that I'm gonna break up with this girlfriend or anything like that. Besides, there are plenty of fish out there in the sea that you're gonna look for in the convention, throughout the internet, you name it. And this is just a 10-minute video that I was gonna do for my cosplay of my documentary story, because this is just my life about my story, of course, everyone. For the past 10 years since I did this. And I'm glad I moved on. And for me, I've been lifting up weights, and of course, I've been losing weight ever since. And for me, I'm not that chubby no more, because I lost almost like 40 or 20 pounds back then. People back then never cared about who everybody was instead. Well, I'm trying to explain to you about that. And we're in the 21st century, and this is 2017. People do care now. Your friends and your family do care. You know that? Because friends who are closer to you, they do care. Because, and I'm going to tell you one last thing. In this whole world, you are not an idiot. You are being like this way as a human being. I know God is always fixing people up who they really are instead. People try to give them a chance instead. Believe me, just focus on the things that you're really on focus about it. You know that, everyone? And my video is about to end in about 40 minutes instead. And I'm glad I already finished talking to you guys about this. And that's it about it. And don't worry about my dog because she's barking. Well, this is Fernando Tio Serrano. As me, as about my story or anything like that. Thank you for supporting me, you guys, okay? And thank you, brother. Thank you, sis. And thank you, mom. I really love you guys. And thank you all, okay? And take care now. And I'm about to do some more updates about it to see that the next time I'm going to do it. And meanwhile, have fun and take care now, okay? Bye-bye.